Emancipate yourselves from mental slavery. None but ourselves can free our minds. Have no fear for atomic energy. None of them can stop the time. When the legendary reggae singer of blessed memory, Bob Marley, sang Redemption Song, it was for slaves stolen from Africa and brought to the Americas to work on the plantations. And later on, some of them were abandoned in the Caribbean. And they continued with a way of life that was not theirs, a way of life imposed on them. And Bob Marley said it was time for them to emancipate themselves and try to find out their exact identity. And that song kind of triggered a quest in the people of the Caribbean and the United States of America that saw them, began demanding for certain things that they thought was their fundamental rights. They were demanding for freedom of speech. They were demanding for the rights to good life, the rights to equality, and you can name it. Today, because the world has seen the emergence of dictators trying to rule people with tight fists, this song is beginning to resonate with people who are not even in the bracket that Bob Marley thought he was composing the song for them. Cameroonians over the decades have lived like slaves to a particular cabal, a gang of people with no conscience who loot with impunity, who impose a kind of lifestyle on Cameroonians that is appalling. Cameroonians have become beggars in their own country. And when I hear sympathizers, militants, diehard supporters, government officials come on television sets and talk about justice, talk about peace. Whoa, we need peace. Country first. I ask, do they think that Cameroonians are some dummies or what? We are not dumb. They have no moral background to dish out moral lessons to Cameroonians, to talk to Cameroonians about peace. Because one thing that the government of Mr. Biya, all those who sympathize with Mr. Biya, one thing they do not understand is that there is absolutely no way injustice can be kicked out of any space and peace will continue to exist there. It is impossible. Do you know why? Because peace and justice are blood. They are related. The moment justice leaves a particular space, peace disappears. And what you get is what you're seeing now in Cameroon. I am going to show you how injustice has been perpetrated by the government of Mr. Biya over the years. And it is because of this injustice that Cameroonians have swallowed and swallowed and swallowed to the point of satiety. And now they can no longer swallow. It is choking them and they're trying to vomit it. That is why government is getting what it is getting today. They did not see this coming. Oh yes, they did not see it. They did not see it coming. And I want to start showing you step by step some despicable things that have been carried out in our country. That families are still asking for justice. Families are still demanding for justice because of these atrocities. And peace will return to Cameroon only when this group of people who think that they own Cameroon are no longer in power. And majority of them will not have a hiding place in Cameroon. Most of them have their private homes in Yaoundé because that is where they think that they are going to stay and be protected by the soldiers. But the soldiers are going to abandon them in the days ahead. I can guarantee you that because we have seen it in other countries. You see, it is true that soldiers have that motto, that slogan, honneur et fidélité. The honor to serve faithfully your country. But when you talk of your country is not Mr. Biya. Your country is not Ngongo, Atanga, and you name the rest of the cabal that have taken the country hostage. That is not your country. Your country is the people that after work, you go back to meet them in the neighborhood. You don't go to Bastos. You guys don't live in Bastos. You don't have the kind of money these guys have to pay rents and live comfortably in Bastos. You don't have that kind of money. That is a fact. And so when you leave work, know that you are going back to the neighborhood to meet who? Your countrymen. The people, those who own Cameroon, the people. You don't know what that word people means. It means a lot. And that is why when the people rises anywhere as one soldier, they bring down mountains, they bring down King Kongs, they bring down dictators. So what you see happening now in Cameroon is the fallout of a long period of injustice having a comfortable place in our society. And I'm going to show you. There are families that are demanding for justice till date in Cameroon. How do you explain that? A country like Cameroon, the baby of a mother at a hospital will disappear. That baby will disappear and nobody is accountable. Meaning that our hospitals don't even have surveillance cameras. There are no surveillance cameras. But go to Kondengi. Count them. Polycarp Aba, Olangena Awono, the late Professor Gervais Mendoze, Edu, Emmanuel, Gilles Roger Bellinga, Mebengo, the Prince of the South. There are so many. And all of them are behind bars for what? Embezzlement of what? Billions of francs CFA. These are guys all appointed by who? Mr. Biya. Where are all of them from? Jar and Lobo division in the south. Because I tell you that I am going to show you exactly why we have the situation we are having now in Cameroon. And they come on television sets and they talk about peace, they talk about love for country. Come on. One thing I know is that it is very easy for those on the moral high ground to try to give moral lessons or look down on those on the moral low ground. But I put it to you that members of the CPDM party, members of government don't have any morale. They don't have any morale at all because their actions will tell you that these are guys who don't even believe that there is the existence of God who created you and I. I doubt it. Because I have never heard our president even say, God bless Cameroon, once, never. And I remember very well that in Limbe, there was a service organized, a communal service to pray for peace. It was organized by the late city mayor of Limbe. And after that ecumenical service, it was time for him to face the press. My colleagues who are watching now will be laughing because they know where I'm going. Yeah, where is he going with this one? I am going to where you know. I asked the city mayor a question. Sir, why do you people organize ecumenical services to pray for peace when you know that you are supposed to be praying for justice so that justice can give birth to peace? Because the two are related. They are blood. You cannot separate them. Justice and peace. The moment one is not available, know that the other is not available. Because we don't have justice in Cameroon, that's why there is no peace in Cameroon. It's a fact. Now, you have families that are demanding justice today, and I'm going to ask you, with all these things I'm going to tell you now, can there be peace in Cameroon? And instead of them coming on television sets to ask for forgiveness, you think that Issa Chiroma is the people's candidate? No. Issa Chiroma is not the people's candidate. Cameroonians didn't choose Issa Chiroma. Issa Chiroma is a vessel. It's a vessel, a container. Yes, he is a vessel being used by the people to get what they want. We had a very fine container, a fine vessel that we were supposed to use. They damaged it. through the Constitutional Council, they damaged that vessel because they thought that that vessel was all what we had. We the people, when I say we, I mean the people. They didn't know that we had a plan B and we had somebody that was going to pop up like a virus. That is why the Bishop of Yagua said, any devil, but not Mr. Biya. And then Issa Chiroma is that devil. And he repented. Something they find it very difficult to do. He repented. He asked for forgiveness. And trust me, there is no leader in Cameroon after Mr. Biya who will be a dictator. No, the people will become the dictator. The leader will listen to the people and toe the line of the people. Not the other way around. It is over. Now, let me begin to tell you the injustice situations that will show you how injustice has been in Cameroon and how justice was chased out of Cameroon. The family of Wazizi. Do you know why Wazizi was arrested? I spoke with Wazizi the day before he was picked up. Do you know why Wazizi was arrested? Because Wazizi was trying to balance information. Yeah, people will tell you, oh, he had no right to be talking to the separatist fighters. Are you for real? Christian Amampo, an icon when it comes to journalism, used to go visit terrorists, hardened terrorists in the world to interview them. If I'm not mistaken, she interviewed, I think she had access to Bin Laden or one other Al-Qaeda leader. At the time when the Western world was against Gaddafi, Gaddafi granted access to Christian Amampo. Because we need to get information from both sides to balance it. That is the only way you can respect the deontology of the profession, by being balanced, by being objective. After news gathering, you have to process. And during that time you're processing the information you've gathered, you have to be balanced. Sentiments aside, emotions aside, you give it to the people as you saw it. So the family of Wazizi is still demanding justice. In a normal country where we talk about law, because CPDM militants and supporters and diehards are good at talking about respect of the law of the land. Cameroon is a state of law. A state of law, a journalist is picked up by uniformed officers, taken to God knows where. 1 year later, they come up with this story that can win an Oscar for best lie ever. That story could win an Oscar for best lie ever told. That Wazizi was rushed to a hospital in the neighborhood of Ekunu in Yaoundé, and that he died there. But you know what? Journalists did carry out investigation, and nurses there testified that no person with that name ever came to that medical facility. Can you imagine that? So the family of Wazizi is demanding justice. Did the Minister of Communication come out to talk about that? Oh, no. No, he didn't. What were you expecting? They will not. He didn't. That is one. In that case, we don't even expect the president to come out. Let's just say communication boss or Mbaragangele, who is in charge of the police in our country. He did not come out to talk about Wazizi's kidnap and his disappearance, because we've not seen any corpse 1 year after. The children of Ngabu, the Ngabu massacre, those families are still demanding for justice. Their prayers have been heard by God. They are asking for justice. There is no justice in Cameroon. Peace has followed justice out of Cameroon. And now what has come to settle in Cameroon is just the opposite of justice. Injustice, and injustice is related to what? Chaos. Injustice is related to chaos. Injustice is related to social unrest. Injustice is related to war. That is a fact. The family members of all the children massacred in Gabu, northwest region of Cameroon, are demanding justice. In a normal country with a normal leader, one who cares for the people, a statesman, because I have told you, statesmen, Kwame Nkrumah, Thomas Sankara, Samora Machel, these are people, they think of the next, Nelson Mandela, they think of the next generation. They don't think about the next election. But you see politicians like Mr. Biya, like Teodoro Ngema Obiang of Equatorial Guinea, they all think of next election, not next generation. And that is why Obiang Ngema has his son as vice president. You know why? So that in case he's not there, the constitution makes it clear that the son will take over. Those are politicians. They are not statesmen. Statesmen are very different. And so the families of the children who were massacred in Gabu are still demanding justice. In a normal country with a statesman, with a leader, Mr. Biya was supposed to come out on national television, show a little bit of empathy. For once, show a little bit of empathy and send his sincere condolences to each and every family, mentioning each and every name of the children massacred in Gabo. Mr. Biya did not do that. Mr. Biya didn't do that. And also the children massacred in Kumba, October 29th, a black day in Kumba. Those children, their spirits are crying from beyond, asking for justice. Their family members are demanding justice, but justice has left Cameroon. Injustice is comfortably seated, rooted deep down in Cameroon. And so, what we are experiencing is a result of injustice given a comfortable place in our society by the so-called administrators. Okalia Bilai, I will ask a question to a minister who has come to Limbe to discuss COVID. I ask a question and Okalia Bilai sends gendarmes behind me. Do you find that normal for a question you ask? So why do they call you a journalist if you ask a question and gendarmes are sent after you? Yes, that is the kind of country we live in. It doesn't end there with the children who were butchered in cold blood, left swimming in their own pool of blood, lifeless bodies in Kumba, just like in Gabu. Don't forget the little girl, full of life, looking very beautiful. Her mother was taking her to school, and a gendarme officer stopped the car. The woman is late. And what did he do? He opened fire, and bullet killed that little girl in Biya. Unfortunately for him, he got mob justice, more like jungle justice. The population tortured life out of him. That family is still asking for justice. It doesn't end there. And this is when I'm going to tell you why Issa Chiroma is not the chosen one, but the vessel that the people are using to get what they want, bring down the government of Mr. Biya. Because Issa Chiroma was communication minister when all these atrocities were being carried out. But you know what he did? Like Pontius Pilate, he swore, denied. He knew nothing. They are not even sure that these acts were carried out by government forces until investigations exposed things. Yes. So people who come out to tell you, oh, you guys you're forgetting what he represents. Cameroonians know what he represents, or what he represented, because he has repented. Yeah. It doesn't end there. At the time the young girl was killed in Biya, there is also another female student who was shot, a very young girl in secondary school there, Ndian, the division of the prime minister. The same prime minister who comes to the southwest, Tata Diongute, comes to the southwest to tell the people of the southwest that he is the legs of the president. The young girl was killed in his division of origin. In that same division of origin, 6 government officials, divisional delegates or regional delegates, but delegates were kidnapped. Till date, their bodies, oh God, the division of the prime minister, still Indian, murder in the cathedral, a similar situation, murder in the cathedral. We saw how the Bakundu chief was pulled out of church on a Sunday morning and shot dead. Yes, the division of the prime minister. In that same division of the prime minister, the manager of palm oil was murdered in cold blood. The question I'm asking, do they enjoy seeing Cameroonian spill blood? Do they enjoy when they see the blood of innocent Cameroonians scattered everywhere? That is the question I'm asking. It doesn't end there. I'm going to continue. Bishop Bala found dead there in the Wuri River. Yeah. It doesn't end there. Reverend Father Sop in Moyuka shot and killed. It doesn't end there. You want to tell me how many people have been killed due to the crisis in the northwest and southwest regions of Cameroon? A war, or call it conflict or whatever, that would have been avoided if diplomacy was used in handling the issue. Jacques Famundongo was dispatched to the northwest to dialogue with the likes of Agbobala and the rest, Tassang Wilfred. And what happened? Because they don't know how to talk to their citizens. And you will hear that these guys are chiefs in their different villages, but they don't know how to talk to their citizens. And that is why they find it normal that they have taken a radical. They have taken a radical, a bully, and make Minister of Territorial Administration who spends his time insulting Cameroonians, intimidating Cameroonians, bullying Cameroonians, oppressing them, suppressing them, and repressing them. That is the extent to which Cameroonians are being treated like slaves. Yes. So, you will concur with me that justice is not in Cameroon, and there is injustice comfortably rooted in our society, leading to all what we are saying. Cameroonians have been held hostage. Their backs against the wall. They are choking, and now they can no longer take it. And that is why you're seeing what you're seeing in Cameroon today. And we pray, God, that the Constitutional Council, a Constitutional Council that more than 8 of its members are CPDM members. How do you do that? I don't understand how these guys do things. Now, let's continue with this injustice talk. Take concours in Cameroon, or call it entrance exams into ENAM, customs, police, even CRTV. I put it to you that you must have a certain surname. As if you carry Ote, it's a problem. Ote becomes a taboo. Or Yomba, or your Itwe, or your Fongang, or your Ashu. Oh no, you must carry a certain name. You must know somebody who knows somebody who knows somebody. Meritocracy, therefore, has no place in our society. And therefore, what do we have? Injustice. injustice. Yeah. Let me tell you something that happened when I was in a Bolova, CRTV Bolova. I used to live the same residence with the 6-star commissioner at the time, Atakem. He was the divisional boss of the police in that particular division. And the Concuda was launched to recruit police constables. Do you want to know what happened? A list was sent to his office. Patakem, I believe he is alive, and if he stumbles on this video, he's going to tell you the truth. Because we were close. We were talking. He used to listen to me on the radio, and when I come home, he would tell me, you have to be very careful. You are not in the southwest or the northwest region where you talk freely. And I would put it to you that they will come and leave a list in his office for children who want to become police constables to write down their names. And you know what? Very few will come. That is the luck they have that they don't use. Whereas there are children from the other regions who are struggling to sit for the entrance exam and see if they can have their name on the list. And they will be asking them for 500,000 francs CFA. That is injustice. And it can never bear any good fruits. The kind of fruit is going to bring is what you see now happening in Cameroon. Young people who are fed up, who are looking ahead and they are despondent. They don't see any future. They don't see any hope. Yet Mr. Biya keeps changing slogans. Grands ambition, greater achievement. You talk of greater achievements and then you come back again to talk about hope. Are you okay? Do these guys reason what they do? Previous years you have talked about greater achievements. And then you come now to talk about hope. What are we hoping again for? When you've already achieved great things, what are we hoping for? At 93, for you to walk like a robot? Age commands respect because age comes with wisdom. And wisdom will tell you that when you are old, you are tired, you retire. Yes. As far as the African cosmology is concerned, the traditions, the cultures, the African society demands that we respect elderly people. But when elderly people start behaving the way they behave, there is no respect for them. So, Mr. President, do the right thing. We continue. Look at government appointments. Look at government appointments. Look at key ministries to tell you that it's a government that has a hidden agenda all the time. Key ministries are occupied by cronies and they all come from one division, the president's division, the president's area, his tribe. Yet they preach tribalism. They tell you that others are practicing tribalism, whereas they are the greatest perpetrators of tribalism in Cameroon. When you take key ministries, defense, finance, justice, Secretary General at the presidency, the SDOs, the DOs, the governors, you realize that Mr. Biya knows what he does all the time, the game. Who is the governor of the Southwest at the moment? Can you imagine that? Take the list of SDOs. If I'm not making a mistake, I don't think there has ever been an Anglophone who has been SDO for FACO. Nzang the third. We know the atrocities he committed in FACO division. Zang the third. Yeah, he was terrorizing the people of FACO. Ngambalodu came. The mafia with the chiefs. God. Cry, my beloved country. The distribution of the country's wealth, injustice. Injustice. Try as much as you can to balance situation. If government, there are people here that have embezzled 3 billion. If government could put a deep sea port in the southwest, Limbe with a natural deep sea, that would have comforted the people across the Mongo, create jobs, because the northwest region is a dry land. It's a dry land. There is nothing there. It's a dry land. No companies, industries to absorb. And you know, listen to the GC results, advanced level, pass in 10, 11, 8, 9 papers. But after that, where do they go to work? In Cameroon, you see that a mother gives birth to a child. The child grows up to become an adult and is still living in the same house with his parents. And he comes back and they call him, Peter, come and take your own food. You see a grown-up man with beard going to the kitchen to collect food from the mother. Instead of coming back from work and telling the mother, Mama, this is 20,000 francs for the week. God, we all want to give our parents a good life, but the means are not there. Why? Because we have an inept government for the past 4 decades unable to create jobs in Cameroon. And let me tell you something. I heard somebody came to my comment section to say, Mr. Biya has done a lot for his people. Let me tell you something. I worked and lived in the South region. I crisscrossed that region, covering events. You see, Jean Roger Bellinger, the man who was in charge of all the houses, they normally call them Cité Sikh, the Sikh houses, the cités in Cameroon, the general manager. I have gone to his village. I was in his house and I covered his event. Let me tell you one thing. This guy used to go to France. He will see, because he's an architect. He's in prison. He's an architect. He used to go to France. He will see a structure and he likes it. He will come back. He will put down what he has and change it. That's how they used to waste taxpayers' money. He has his companies on about, I don't know the number of acres of land. He has a tennis court, basketball court, football field, a fish pond. Oh God. Listen, I went to Ondondon, Emmanuel Gerard Ondondon, the man who manages all the councils. He used to manage all the councils. He's in jail 30 years for embezzlement. The day he was arrested, 8 new Prados, 8 brand new, never used, with plastic still, it was found at the back of his yard. What are they doing with it? And they were taken to Yaoundé. He used to waste money. That is a guy that, at least, he supplied electricity to his entire village. Standby generator. I was in the south. There are certain things you cannot tell me about Cameroon. Yes. I was there. I saw it. Emmanuel Edu. Is it Emmanuel Edu or Joseph? I think Emmanuel Edu. Yeah. Invested in Equatorial Guinea. He too is in jail. Olangena Owono. Roll back malaria. If you remember, roll back malaria. Who does that? You embezzle money that is meant for malaria. When you know how dangerous malaria is to your people in Africa, tropical Africa. He is in jail. All of them appointed by Mr. Biya, his people. Polycarp Ababa. The Prince of the South. The Prince of the South. Ale Mebengo. Do you know how much Mebengo and his wife embezzled? He did not just embezzle. His wife joined him in the game. That is how bad the government of Mr. Biya has been. And you expect Cameroonians to sit and watch that? And they come on TV sets and want to give people moral lessons? God. Issa Chiroma has spoken to the military. Issa Chiroma has sent a message to the military to make them understand that they are to be with the people and for the people. And let me make it very clear to you. So many soldiers voted Issa Chiroma Bakari. That is why I am very worried for Cameroon. Because they are not going to fold their arms and watch you hurt Issa Chiroma Bakari. It is going to be crazy. Yeah, people tell me that I have become a sadist, that I want to see Cameroon go up in flames. No. But I have to tell you the things that I know are wrong about Mr. Biya's government and why they cannot be in power. Because if we just tell you, oh, Mr. Biya should go, you ask why. People ask me, why don't you people want him? They ask me overseas. People ask me, and I tell them, these are the things. It is very clear. Honor et fidelité is when you defend the people and the country. You defend the country. Honor et fidelité. You serve faithfully your country. You don't serve faithfully at Tanganji, Ngongo, Biya. No. If you serve faithfully with honor, Ngongo, Atanganji, Biya, it is not honor et fidelité. It is not. It is not honor et fidelité. So the time has come when you guys will show your love for country by joining the people. You have seen it across the world. When the uniformed men will get up and say, no, Mr. President, your time is up. The people have decided. Because the people own the country. The people pay the taxes that you people are paid your salaries. You guys earn better than teachers who have gone to school at all levels. You guys are paid on time. By the 15th, the 20th, you guys have your salaries. Teachers go for months without salaries. God. This is the time you will show love for country, uniform officers. Because it is Colonel Bajek. You all know Colonel Bajek. People commonly call him Colonel. That's a French pronunciation. Colonel Bajek has come out. He is a die-hard supporter of the CPDM. He too is not free. He has defended the soldiers as far as the Anglophone crisis and other atrocities are concerned in Cameroon. But I was shocked to my marrow when he came out and said he does not want to see uniform men going against the people of Cameroon. If the people want to protest, it is enshrined in the constitution of the country. You guys, that's why when I hear CPDM people again talk about respect for the constitution, I'm asking, the same people who caress and God, these guys play with the, you know how you play with a woman you love? This is how they play with the constitution. When they are tired, they take it to the theater so that it can get a good shape. What do? They cut open. They stitch to suit what is going to attract them more, and they dish it out to Cameroonians. And they're talking about respect. Oh, come on. Keep it to yourself. The people just want you guys to pack your bags and go. It's as simple as that. So don't come to preach about respect for constitution, respect for love for country. They have this fine line they have borrowed from France. You have to respect the Republic. Comment ça se dit même en France? En France, ils disent que il faut être républicain. You have to be Republican. Respecting the Republic. Really? Yes, that is how brainwashed we are. You talk about respecting the Republic. Have you gone to France? I told you when I was in France that I saw how the region of Guyane took the government hostage, told them that they will bow, whether they like it or not, that they need development in their region. And you know what? The French government pumped 3,150,000,000 euros into Guyane. Fact. Just type the Guyane unrest and you will see how much 3 billion paid in 5 installments. Government was taken hostage. The arms of government twisted by the people. Government succumbed. You are here talking about il faut être républicain, il faut respecter la République, il faut respecter notre constitution. Quelle constitution? Constitution constipée. Comme notre grand frère Lapiro avait dit, constitution constipée. It's a constipated constitution because you guys keep cutting and stitching to suit you. C'est ça. You know? So this time around, we are watching. Méfiez-vous. Le peuple est debout. Comme votre frère, le gouverneur du Sud-Ouest, va toujours dire, le gouvernement est debout. Non, maintenant c'est le peuple. Le peuple est debout. Now, the message coming from soldiers who are sympathizing, is that if Issa Chiroma Bakari is not declared winner, the people have the right to come out. And when they come out, they should come out en masse. Come out in your number. Many. Come out as a people. They cannot stop you. The soldiers will give up. You saw what happened in Garoua. Because the population came out, the soldiers, they had to bow. Allah Akbar. Inshallah, change is on the way.